Hello, friends. Welcome to the world of meditation for anyone, anytime, and anywhere. Meditation is a lifelong journey in which there could be two potential mistakes. First, not starting meditation at all. And second, not continuing it properly or leaving it in the middle. Meditation is a gift or a privilege that is available to all of us. It is our special capability that can liberate ourselves from defilements and worldly distractions that we are constantly exposed to. Meditation enables us to master our mind and body. It is the only asset that will retain throughout your life. I have been practicing meditation for over 15 years now. I have explored various meditation techniques by my own experience as well as by reading and listening from other sources. What I have found, meditation has become overly complex. The interpretation and understanding about the meditation differ from one person to another. Meditation has been framed as if it is something very special, extraordinary, or supernatural, despite being a fundamental part of our being. Many find meditation hard to start due to the wrong perception that it is only for somebody dealing with tension or facing mental health problem, or something to be done during holidays like yoga class or spa, or somebody wanting to give up everything and live like a monk. Some of us are even concerned if meditation is a safe thing for a normal person or not. There are several guided meditation techniques available that require you to follow a specific routine. They are full of jargon or new terms. While they need attending physical retreats that are not practical and costly for many. Some require you to follow some religious ideology, involve prayers or some special rituals. Others are incomplete, vague, and may require subscription or hidden cost to continue. Since meditation has become so hard to start, I am hoping to break this myth and introduce meditation as a part of day-to-day life in the most practical, simple, and easy to follow by anyone, anytime, and anywhere. So, the focus here is on eternal truth or natural phenomena that can be verified by our own experience. No imagination. We will try to avoid using jargon or special terminology. You are also not required to follow any ideology. We only touch fundamentals based on day-to-day experiences of our life. Focus is on pure experience, which is actually the one and only way to progress in meditation. The content presented here is mostly based on my own experience. However, I do admit that some information could be inspired from various sources. There are good materials and sources out there, but it could be hard for many to determine where to start and how to follow them effectively. To the extent possible, we are not going to spell out such sources in order to avoid potential controversy or confusions. Knowingly or unknowingly, we meditate all the time. Only difference is that we meditate without noticing it most of the time. It is impossible to live without meditating, similar to breathing. For instance, our mind has to be in constant attention to regulate our body, such as breathing, heartbeat, as well as functioning of other organs. Since it is so obvious to us, we hardly think about this simple fact. So we are always meditating. Let's try to understand a little bit further. In order to accomplish any task or action, we need 5 essential combinations. First is the inspiration, determination, or interest in the task or action. Anything we do start with some sort of inspiration. It doesn't matter how serious the inspiration is. For instance, it is not always necessary for us to be very thirsty to drink water. A mild level of inspiration is enough. Meanwhile, we need a rather strong inspiration or determination to go jogging in the cold and rainy early morning hours. Okay. Second is the knowledge about the task or act. We need to know how to do the task right. Otherwise, we cannot accomplish the task properly. So knowledge is critical. Third is passion or devotion to the chosen task. Whatever we do, we must have a good amount of passion. You may develop a motivation as well as have knowledge about how to start a business. But without a passion or devotion, you cannot progress much. Fourth is concentration on the task or act, which means complete focus on the task. If you cannot concentrate, interest, knowledge, and passion are of not much use. And finally, the action or task itself. In fact, it is impossible to live without engaging in any action, either physically like moving hands or leg, or passively in the form of heartbeat, breathing, etc. So, quality of any action is determined by the coordination and awareness of these 5 combinations. In other words, the level of meditative state of these 5 combinations will decide how well we perform and act. Whether an action happens automatically on purpose or due to ignorance, is the reflection of our meditative state. In meditation, we are interested in advancing the level of awareness to the highest point so that we can take full control of our action. In return, you can liberate yourself from falling into trap of developing unproductive or counterproductive habit patterns. Focus is always on eternal truth that each of us can verify and make judgment through our own experiences. No hard feelings, nor any responsibilities taken to the results and outcomes by following or not following the sessions. There are carefully designed 12 sessions, which in my view is a complete package for anybody interested to kickstart and integrate meditation into day-to-day life. First 3 sessions are meant to inspire and motivate you to meditate. The act of meditation is not that complex or hard, such as focusing on your breathing. But without an understanding of the purpose of our focus, it will be extremely hard to meditate. One commonality among all meditation techniques is that a lot of time is spent on building a solid understanding of the purpose behind meditation. 4th and 5th session will go a little deeper to clarify the nature of our body and mind, because it's the main subject of meditation, and then explain how to set a base or foundation before starting the act of meditation. Session 6 and 7 will teach you the early steps of meditation. This is when you will start your journey in a more practical manner. Session 8 and 9 will then discuss the initial responses after starting the meditation and the 5 main barriers to meditation. The barriers will help you to overcome any likely confusions or confrontation in the early stage of meditation. Session 10 will discuss how to advance the meditation to the next level by increasing the sharpness of our mind. And Session 11 will discuss the ways to integrate meditation into daily life. This is how you can lead a meditative life. The final session 12 will explain about the likely outcomes from meditation so that you can understand the level of your progress over time. At the end of each session, there will be an exercise related to the main subject of that session. Consider following the exercise when contexts are suitable, as some of them cannot be done while listening. The lessons will be a big asset in your meditation journey. For complete understanding, I suggest to follow all 12 sessions in order, that is from 1 to 12. Over time, I will be adding supplementary materials to deepen the understanding of each session depending on the needs and feedback received. I urge all to follow 12 sessions as a basis and use supplementary materials as a reference to advance your understanding. The best possible way to follow the session is to stay in a basic meditative state by fulfilling two conditions. It doesn't matter where you are as long as you have time and the right condition to listen. First, you focus your attention to your natural breathing as it goes in and goes out of your nostril or mouth. Second, you try to stay calm, that is, without any thoughts, no self-talking inside your mind, or no multitasking. The rationale behind these two conditions will be obvious in subsequent session. Thank you for listening and sharing. See you in the next session.